Hi guys, I'm so excited to film this video as I will be talking about the house of Granado. So many of you were curious about the house since I mentioned the perfume Bossa in several of my videos. So I asked you if you would love to hear a house review of the brand, and a lot of you said yes, and I know that you've been waiting for this house review for quite a long time, and yes, I'm finally doing it. It took me time to finally do this video because there's a lot, okay? And in order for me to do a proper review of fragrances, I need time. I have here 15 fragrances, okay? So this video is going to be long. So if you're curious about this brand and you're wondering which one to pick up, I suggest that you grab a drink, grab a snack, and search for the most comfortable space in your house. And let's get this house review started. Before we start, just a little background about Granado. It is a brand founded in 1870 in Rio de Janeiro. So having said that, these perfumes are definitely giving Rio de Janeiro vibes. Also, this brand was born as a pharmacy in Brazil and was the main supplier of Brazil's royals family because of its natural ingredients in its products. The brand has been passed down to many generations and is now treasured as part of a Brazilian heritage. I would also like to highlight that they mostly used natural ingredients in their perfumes. Just for the record, this video is not sponsored. Aside from the 2 discovery kits that I received from the brand, I purchased myself a bottle and another discovery kit as I was really curious about the brand. I'm gonna stop rambling and start reviewing. I'm gonna start off with their Flora collection. And mind you, these are in cologne concentration, okay? This discovery kit retails for 40 euros. And guys, 300 ml retails for 90 euros, okay? Yes, I know they have good prices. That's why I was very curious about this brand. And, not only about good prices, but because of their natural ingredients and as well as, of course, it's a local brand from Brazil. So now the first perfume that I'm gonna review is called Rosa Damascena. And by the name, it is basically a rose scent. And what can I say? This is a very light, airy rose scent to the point that it almost feels and smells like a rose essence. This opens up very citrusy, and then as it dries down, it's like very light and airy candied rose and peony with heavy musk and light amber. I was reminded of a fragrance that I have in my collection. However, I cannot really point it out. And when I checked Fragrantica, I saw that people are comparing this with one of my OG scent, this Stella McCartney perfume. They are really, really similar. However, I feel like Rosa Damascena is the light and natural version of Stella McCartney. If you enjoy light and airy scents, very cologne-like, you're gonna enjoy Rosa Damascena. What I like about this fragrance is that it is very light and airy rose and peony combo along with like almost citrusy musk in the base. So it really gives you that fresh and uplifting mood. If you are into roses, you're gonna love this one. I love roses as well in perfume, so I quite like this one. Yeah, Rosa Damascena. Next up is called Violeta. And this fragrance, as the name suggests, is a violet dominant scent. It has some carrot seeds, pink pepper, juniper in the top, as well as a very noticeable violet, iris, and ambrette. So if you like this combo, you'll definitely love this one. It also has sandalwood and amber in the base, which added that slight woodiness in this fragrance. This is for someone who's into violet and sandalwood fragrances. For example, you like room 1015 because of the violet iris sandalwood combo. This has a very prominent ambrette and sandalwood, so it's giving off that cool and chic girl vibe. It's very woody as well. For a cologne, it becomes powdery, musky. I think it's because of the ambrette that is in here. Yeah, Violeta. Next up is Lirio, which means lily. This one has very peppery and citrusy opening. As it dries down, it smells very like watered white flowers. It is very, very light. I find this fragrance very weak on me. It almost feels like really like watered flowers and musk. So yeah, it is kind of giving as well like a citrusy tea vibe, even though there's no tea in here. Yeah, very light, almost unnoticeable to me. And I think that this is the weakest scent in today's video. So yeah, having said that, this is not really one of my favorites because I don't know, it's just very weak. Anyway, is there anyone out there who have tried this? Maybe on you, it projected more. Next up is Magnolia. And of course, it is a magnolia scent. This starts off very green, bright, and uplifting. It has a very prominent mimosa note to me. So having said that, it is uplifting, giving a joyful and sparkly vibe. So it is green, it is sparkling in the beginning. As it dries down, it somehow becomes powdery. It is a pretty scent, I must say. I think I like this because of the mimosa, freesia, and the magnolia blend. Because that trio for me just smells very uplifting. So this is for someone who's into green and powdery white florals. I can't really think of a fragrance that is similar to this one. However, I find it quite nice. Yeah, but definitely you must be into the scent of magnolia. Yeah, that's Magnolia. All right, and last but not the least from the flower collection is called Gardenia. And this fragrance is for all the tea lovers out there. This smells very bright and citrusy white tea scent that I actually really love. The gardenia note is prominent here as well. However, it seems like the gardenia is like rinsed. So the gardenia in here is very light and almost watery. I find gardenia note to be very strong actually in fragrances and kind of like a make or break for me. However, since I mentioned that the gardenia here seems like soaked in water for a very long time, it is very toned down. Even though I know that it is there, but it's not very prominent. For me, this is mostly citrus and tea. Very bright, very relaxing, and it even gives off that elegant and clean vibe. I love this one. As a matter of fact, this is my favorite from the Flora collection and is even part of my top 5. This is for someone who's into white tea scents. I've used this several times already, and as you can see, the dent that I have is denting, meaning I really used up this fragrance because I enjoy wearing it, especially now that it is super hot here in Portugal. I love how clean it makes me feel like, and just bright, citrusy tea fragrance that I really enjoy. So that's my thought about Gardenia. So having reviewed the 5 scents from the Flora collection, I've tested their longevity and projection, and I must say, since they're colognes, of course, they don't really project. They are mostly close to the skin. However, I find Gardenia and Violet to be quite projecting for the first 2 hours until like it becomes really closer to the skin on the 3rd and 4th hour. Violeta and Gardenia last quite decent, I must say. let's say around 4 to 6 hours. However, the projection is very intimate when it gets to the third hour. The rest lasted me around 2 to 3 hours and very intimate projection. Now I'm gonna talk about Bossa, and this is in an eau de toilette concentration. And if you watch my channel, you know that this is the first fragrance that I tried from them, and this is the fragrance that made me very interested about the brand. This is a citrusy, a little bit solar, coconut and musk scent that is perfect for the summertime. This is light and very airy, and I love how the coconut is done in here because it is not too milky, and instead it is kind of like a clean, watery coconut that has some solar vibes in it. So this one is something that lingers on the skin under the heat. Perfect scent if you just want to walk around, especially if it's too hot. This lingers on the skin very well, doesn't really project much. However, it gives you like a good scent bubble throughout the day. I really love this scent, and yeah, this as well is definitely in my top 5. When it comes to longevity and projection, I talked about this already, lasted me around 4 to 5, or it can even stretch to 6. With this one, you can always respray because it will never be too much. And to be honest, when it's too hot outside, I really don't mind respraying my bright and citrusy, musky scents because that's basically like my vibe. I want to smell fresh, or shall I say refresh, all the time. This is Bossa, a solar coconut citrusy musky scent, perfect for summer. And by the way, this 75 ml eau de toilette bottle cost around 65 euros. I know, right? Their prices are really good. All right, so now let's talk about their perfume collection. First up is Infusao Botânica. This is a bestseller in Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. Very citrusy and peppery, and then as it dries down, it becomes green and peppery. It is very refreshing. It is a perfect, fresh, spicy, and floral scent. The kind of floral that is in here is peony. So having said that, it is very light and almost like watery. This smells very peppery, green, and somehow watery florals. I like this scent, I must say. This is perfect for the summer. It is not your typical bright and citrusy fragrance because of the peppery feel to it. So having said that, this is quite spiced, but not too much, okay? I actually realize why this is loved by many in Brazil, because it is not a typical citrusy fragrance because of the spicy feel to it. So having said that, it has a sexiness in there. It's like it's summer, I look fresh, and also I'm very tanned. Yeah, that's like the feel of this fragrance. There is a very clean musk and a beautiful powdery cashmeran in the background that gave this fragrance an interesting factor. I really like this one. However, to me, I feel like it didn't last that much. Let's say around 2 to 4 hours. But then I tested this under the heat anyway. So, you know, probably that's why. But it's really good, I must say. Yeah, that is Infusao Botânica. If you love fresh, spicy, and green florals in your fragrances, I can't really think of a fragrance that it reminds me of though. All right, next up is Epoque Tropical. And guys, I was very curious about this one because I know that this is one of their best sellers. And also, I was very curious because people are comparing this with my favorite Santal 33 by Le Labo. And what can I say? Yes, it has similarities. However, this is a very light, watered down, and airy version of Santal 33. So I think you will enjoy this if you're the type who loves Santal 33. However, you cannot stand the strength that it has, or for example, you find it overwhelming, you might enjoy Epoque Tropical because this is like the light and natural version of Santal 33. So if you find Santal 33 like too potent for you or too strong, then you might enjoy Epoque Tropical. This as well has a very unique note of cashew, which actually made me so interested in trying this one. The thing is, I don't really get any nuttiness here. Well, I haven't really smelled like a fresh cashew. I've only tried them like dried nuts. I was expecting it to be like a nutty version of Santal 33 because of that cashew note. However, I don't really feel the cashew note in here, or probably it's because I haven't really smelled like a fresh cashew. It's a very fresh, clean, woody, citrusy scent as well, with a clean sandalwood in the base. I don't find it very woody. However, I find this one like a perfect unisex fragrance. Infusao Botânica is giving that perfect unisex vibe as well. Yeah, so that is Epoque Tropical. And also, may I add that I find the longevity of Epoque Tropical like one of the longest in today's list. Let's say this one can last me around 4 to 6 hours with moderate projection. Next up is called Imperiale, and I was so curious about this fragrance because they describe it as like when the Brazilian and Portuguese culture meet. So this is very citrusy, tea-like, white florals with clean sandalwood to me. I must say that it is citrusy and giving off that tea vibe. However, it's not really bright and uplifting, like for example, Gardenia. Like it's just fresh. It has some mate tea note in there that, yes, I'm really getting because I'm very familiar with mate as I used to drink mate myself when I traveled to South America. And yes, the mate is very prominent to me. So having said that, this is a different kind of tea. It's not as bright and uplifting as other tea prominent fragrances. It is just like very light tea to me. And the white florals that are prominent in here are Magnolia and Lily of the Valley. However, very light. Like there's no touch of indolicness, which I love actually. I find this fragrance woodier than citrusy and tea-like. I think this is something that you can use all year round. This fragrance is quite giving old money vibes. So having said that, it is very musky and woody to me with touch of citrus and some tea notes in the background. Yeah, I find this fragrance very light and weak on me. So yeah, I think if this lasts longer, this can be part of my top 5. Yeah, it didn't really cling on my skin very well. Let's say lasted around 3 hours max, I think. Yeah, so that is Imperiale, a very beautiful scent too. Next up is Nostalgia. And I was very curious about this one as well. This opens up very peppery. If you are a fan of black and pink pepper in fragrances, you're gonna adore this one. This has a very prominent like lily, musk, and amber. The pink pepper note is very strong to my nose. This smells like more of a black pepper to me, not really pink pepper, like a very spicy pepper. As it dries down though, it becomes very cocooning and powdery. Also, it has clean musk and amber that is adding to the coziness of the scent. So basically, I'm gonna describe this one as a very spicy and peppery musk and amber scent. It reminds me a lot of Diptyque's Fleur de Peau. So if you love Fleur de Peau by Diptyque, you gonna love Nostalgia. It's really nice. I appreciate the spiciness of this fragrance because I feel like this is quite different from the rest of their collection, and also this one lasts. Let's say lasts me around 4 to 7 hours. You don't really need to overspray with this one. Yeah, and it has a moderate projection. For me, I didn't like this one personally because I am getting a very strong black pepper in here. And also I think because I have Fleur de Peau already, which is more powdery. Yeah, I just think that if you like Fleur de Peau and you want a spicier version of that, meaning like more peppery version of that, check Nostalgia because you might enjoy this one. A very spicy and powdery musky scent. Next up is called Jardim Real, and this is for all the floral scent lovers out there. This has very prominent jasmine sambac, magnolia, orange blossom. Yes, definitely. A little bit peppery and not too much citrus this time. This I'm gonna describe as more of a peppery white florals with clean musk and sandalwood in the base. This to me smells like a natural ingredient floral soap that you made out of the flowers that you have from your garden. It's very fresh, very natural smelling. This is the most floral smelling out of the 15 perfumes today. However, it is not indolic at all. This is a kind of floral and musky scent that you can enjoy wearing even if it's scorching hot outside. I find the jasmine, orange blossom, and magnolia very strong in here. However, guys, it is not indolic at all. It is very light and airy. So I like it for that reason. Yeah, so that is Jardim Real, your citrusy, floral, and musky scent. Next up is called Boemia. And this one is your dark, spicy, peppery tobacco scent. That smells really sexy. At first spray, this smells like, oh, this is strong. This is a winter fragrance. But let me tell you, it reminds me a lot of tobacco, leather, and sandalwood masculine fragrances. However, this is strong yet light. So having said that, this can still be worn even if it's hot outside. You won't feel, too warm, even though it has warmth in it. The leather is so nicely done here, along with the tobacco and some spices, nutmeg and olibanum is there. So it has a resinous vibe as well. It's perfectly blended. This is not overwhelming. That's why I said that this can still be very wearable during summertime or even springtime. Also, I want to add that this is the most masculine fragrance in today's list. Even though it is a unisex scent, this can lean, let's say like 60% masculine, but I can imagine a woman pulling this off, especially at nighttime. I find this fragrance very ambery as well. Even though there's no amber listed, I feel like it has that dark amber in it. So imagine dark amber with some spice along with tobacco and leather. It feels warm, however, it's very light and very airy. This is very sexy. If you want to buy a fragrance for your man from Granado, I think from the 15 fragrances today, this is the most masculine one. So yeah, you can buy your man Boemia. And as far as I remember, this is their bestseller in UK. And I think I know why, because this feels warm. So I feel like if you leave somewhere that is colder, this can be more enjoyable. However, I've worn this under the sun and it was okay. Actually, I didn't feel like suffocated, and normally that's the case for me when I wear tobacco and leather scent during summertime. I didn't feel that suffocating factor in Boemia. This has a very nice longevity and projection, let's say 4 to 7 hours, and I think this is one of the most projecting fragrance from their line. Yeah, so that is Boemia. Next up is Folia. And you guys, this one is the most unique scent in today's list. This has nutmeg, bergamot, tangerine, licorice, osmanthus, orange blossom, vanilla musk, and sandalwood. And I feel like it is very unique because of the contrast between the licorice, nutmeg, osmanthus, and the sweet vanilla that is in here. This to me smells a little bit buttery, especially in the dry down, and I don't know what it is really. It is just very, very unique in my opinion. So if you are the type who is looking for a unique scent from Granado, I feel like this is the most unique that they have. I haven't smelled anything like this. So yeah, having said that, yeah, this is one of my favorites from the brand. Very sweet vanilla and musk combo in the base, plus that buttery feel that I don't know where from. I think it's the licorice and osmanthus combo here, but you know, it should have been citrusy, right? And a little bit spicy. Yeah, but it's not. It smells very sweet and buttery. That's how I'm gonna describe it. Also, yeah, this one has quite a good longevity and projection, let's say around 4 to 7 hours. Yeah, Folia, if you're looking for a unique, sweet vanilla that is not overwhelming. Yeah, really, really like this one. Last two, Expedicão. And guys, this is another citrusy and peppery scent. However, this has a very prominent incense, pine, and iris that just smells so good, along with that fresh sandalwood, cedar, and amber in the base. This is my favorite out of the 15 perfumes that I'm talking about today. This is Spot On Gypsy Water by Byredo. So if you love gypsy water and you don't want to spend a lot, I think this is like half price of gypsy water. And this lasts longer than gypsy water, okay? I'm so excited to let you guys know about this fragrance because I really love it. If you think that we have the same taste in fragrances, meaning you love sandalwood, woody scents, as well as juniper berries, iris, you're gonna love Expedicão. This on me lasts really long and it projects very well as well, especially for the first 2 hours. I'll never forget when I wore this one night. I was in the kitchen, which is on the 2nd floor, and my husband was on the 3rd floor, and he screamed that I smell so good. Okay, guys, imagine he smelled me from the 3rd floor. I was on the 2nd floor. And of course, he gave me a hug and told me that I smelled so good, that he really loves this fragrance on me. Maybe I'm biased, that's why this is my favorite from today's list, but anyway, even before he said that, I know that this was my favorite. This is for all the fresh sandalwood and woody lovers out there. Highly, highly recommend, especially if you love gypsy water. Actually, just buy this one instead of gypsy water and you'll be fine. This smells very natural, very beautiful woody scent, and it gives you a beautiful scent bubble the entire wear. So yeah, highly recommend, guys. Expedicão. All right, last but not the least, oh my God. Yes, we are finishing. This is only a sample size. They basically gave it as a free sample with my order. I think this is part of their new collection because I think they have like 4 new fragrances. Anyway, this one is called Flora Magnifica. And I've actually tried this when I was in their event in Lisbon. And guys, I love this one. This sounds like a very floral dominant fragrance. And to be honest, it is. However, guys, there's a very creamy and watery coconut in here that is giving it life. I love this fragrance. This starts off very green. There is a very prominent nectarine note that I easily detect. I find nectarine notes actually very fruity and juicy. It has rose, jasmine, and magnolia. I noticed actually that they use a lot of magnolia in their scents, and I'm not complaining. Yes, I got the magnolia in there, and it has a very light rose and jasmine. This has a very creamy coconut and sandalwood. Oh, I am really vibing with this fragrance. If I can think of a fragrance close to this one, maybe it's Nectarine, Blossom, and Honey from Jo Malone. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's really the name. The Nectarine one from Jo Malone. It reminds me of that. However, this one has a creamy coconut and sandalwood base that I love. It's a little bit solar as well. However, not too much. If I can give a color to this fragrance, yeah, it will be fuchsia. A creamy and woody fuchsia color. And having said that, I love this fragrance as well. When it comes to longevity and projection, I find it very moderate. Let's say lasted me around 3 to 5 hours. However, guys, I love it. It is very light, very airy, nectarine, coconut, and rose scent that I really enjoy. So, oh my God, those are the 15 perfumes that I want to talk about. If I have to pick my top 5, my number 1 will definitely be Expedicão, followed by Flora Magnifica, then followed with Bossa, and then Gardenia, and the last one will be Infusao Botânica, and Folia or tie. Yeah, so sorry, it's not really top 5, but top 6, okay? If you have to pick just one, I think Expedicão and Bossa will be the safest. However, you know, the 6 perfumes that I mentioned, those are my personal favorites from the brand. So that is the very long video today. I think it's my first time to review 15 fragrances in one video. Let me know, how did it go? Did I help you find your scent? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, I would like to let you know that I am introducing this new content in my channel, which I'm gonna call Brand of the Month. So this month will be Granado. What I'm planning to do is to basically do a house review of a particular brand once a month. Yeah, so if you have any brands in mind, you can also let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, let's see if I can make a house review of it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video today, and see you on my next one. Bye!